Archaeological evidence reveals that people were settled in what would become Rome for at least 3 centuries before the traditional foundation date in 753 BC. Leaving aside the disputes about the exact date, whenever Rome was founded, it certainly was not built in a day. The future city began as a collection of small villages on the famous 7 hills. Actually, there are more than 7 hills, some of them designated montes from mons, which translates literally as mountain, but the term could be applied to a mound of earth or even a large rock. The remaining hills are labelled colles, singular collis, signifying a hill or simply a piece of high ground. Some or all of the montes or colles may have supported an individual settlement, possibly protected by primitive fences or clay walls. For centuries, the Romans were not certain when their city was founded, and probably had no inkling of the fact that people had been setting up homes in the area for such a long time before the villages began to amalgamate to form a primitive town. The story of Romulus was only one among 30 or so different myths about how Rome began. No one was certain about the age of the city until the foundation date was established in the 1st century BC by Marcus Terentius Varro. An eminent scholar, Varro examined all the available historical material to extrapolate backwards through the recorded events and decide how old the city was by his own day. Other scholars had also tried to establish a date, but Romans of the 1st century BC were quite satisfied with Varro's foundation year for the city, which translates into modern dating methods as 753 BC. The Romans recorded events after 753, labelling each successive year with its relevant number ab urbe condita, meaning from the foundation of the city, represented by the initials AUC. Ancient historians explain that after the foundation, Rome was ruled by kings, 7 in all, and during their reigns, Rome steadily became an established city with temples, shrines, and communal open spaces, such as the Forum Romanum. The development of the future city depended on the inhabitants working together under a director of operations, namely the first kings. Such corporate activities have been detected by archaeological investigations and include the raising of the level of the Forum to avoid periodic flooding by the Tiber. This was first achieved using turf blocks, and then around 750 the Forum acquired cobblestone paving, which had to be renewed from time to time. At the same time, 750 to 725, the sanctuaries of the goddess Vesta and the god Vulcan were built. Later, the Comitium was laid out. Not a building, but an open area used as a gathering place for political assemblies. Romulus, the legendary founder of the city and its first king, was succeeded by 6 further kings until the end of the 6th century, when King Tarquinius Superbus, the Proud, was ejected, and the Republic was established in 509. Most of the kings allegedly expanded the early settlement. Dionysius of Halicarnassus ascribes the enclosure of the Palatine and capital to Romulus, the absorption of the Celian to the 3rd king, Tullus Hostilius, the Aventine to Tullus' successor, Ancus Marcius, and the enclosure of the Esquiline and Viminal to the 6th king, Servius Tullius. The Greek geographer Strabo mostly agrees with this, but he prefers Ancus Marcius as the king who took in the Celian as well as the Aventine. As a geographer with an eye for terrain, Strabo makes the point that it was wise to include even those hills which had natural defences, because if they were left outside the city, they could be taken by enemies and turned into strongholds against the areas inside Rome. For centuries following its foundation, Rome was successively damaged, burnt, rebuilt, pulled down, and levelled to make way for a succession of new buildings, so archaeology can reveal only glimpses of the most ancient times, and opportunity only rarely arises to conduct excavations.